Hello, I'm Roberto Pecoa Filho. I'm a nephrologist and a senior research scientist at Arbor Research Collaborative for Health.
Hello, my name is Murilo Guedes. I am a physician based on Brazil. I'm currently a postdoc fellow at Pontifícia Universidade Católica do Paraná in Curitiba.
Today we're here to present a video abstract, which is an initiative from the ISN DOPS collaboration. This will be based on a paper that has just been published at ISN, and it's focused on iron deficiency as a risk factor for poor clinical outcomes in patients with non-dialysis CKD. The current management of iron deficiency in non-dialysis CKD patients is focused on improving erythropoiesis. Studies in patients with similar iron deficiency pathogenesis, such as heart failure, has shown that iron deficiency treatment improves cardiovascular outcomes regardless of anemia. Since this effect is unknown in CKD individuals, we enrolled patients in nephrology-based clinics from a multinational real-world cohort and showed that ID, as capture as transferrin saturation index, is associated with higher risk of mortality and cardiovascular events in patients with and without anemia. Murilo will describe the methods and the results of the paper.
So for this work, we enrolled 5,145 non-dialysis CKD patients enrolled in CKDOPS from Brazil, France, Germany, and the US, who had a TSAT and ferritin measurement at study start. And also we captured hemoglobin at the same time as the serum iron biomarkers for this study. Our primary outcome was to evaluate the pre-end stage renal disease mortality outcome, all cause, and also the MACE. The MACE, the major adverse cardiovascular events in this study, was defined as the composite outcome of myocardial infarction, non-fatal myocardial infarction, non-fatal stroke, cardiovascular mortality, and heart failure events. For this study, we followed those individuals longitudinally to assess their outcomes. Or in terms of our population, the mean age of inclusion for our patients was 69 years. The mean eGFR was 28 ml per minute. Up to 15% of our patients had heart failure, and the median study follow-up time was 3 years. Our hemoglobin at baseline was 12 grams per deciliter, or TSAT was 24% on average, and ferritin was 196 nanograms per ml on average. Our primary exposure variable was having a TSAT lower than 15% compared to the reference group of 25 to 35%. In our analysis, we adjusted for multiple variables, confounders, including inflammatory surrogates, demographics, comorbidities, and other factors. We also ensured to include a model adjusting for hemoglobin, as hemoglobin is a potential mediator of any association between iron deficiency and clinical outcomes. So we included both a model with hemoglobin and without it. Additionally, to ensure that we were capturing the information following iron deficiency, we also ran subgroup analysis among patients with or without anemia to ensure, again, that we are measuring the impact of iron parameters on the variables that we are measuring. So in terms of results, what we found was that patients with TSAT lower than 15% had an increased risk of pre-SRD all-cause mortality, with hazard ratios up to 1.59 in our fully adjusted models. In terms of major adverse cardiovascular events, also captured pre-dialysis or pre-SRD, we found almost a two-fold increase for those events in the most adjusted model. We found no interaction by hemoglobin for our results. So these are the results of our study.
Although the results of this association study is based in observational CKD patients, intervention studies addressing the impact of iron deficiency treatment beyond its erythropoietic effects are still necessary to challenge the anemia-focused paradigm of iron deficiency management in non-dialysis CKD, potentially fostering more optimal strategies for improving patient outcomes. In name of the ISN and DOPS, thank you for your attention.